Have you ever wondered why we don't build our massive high-tech railway systems on solid ground? Think about it. We pave our roads with smooth, durable asphalt. We build our airport runways with thick, reinforced concrete. Yet, when it comes to a 500-ton train carrying thousands of people or millions of dollars in cargo, we set the tracks on a loose, messy pile of jagged rocks. It looks unfinished. It looks like a construction crew just forgot to pave the last step. But if you were to replace those messy rocks with a solid concrete road tomorrow, the entire rail network would likely shatter within a week. These stones aren't just for show. They are an advanced engineering solution called track ballast. They are the reason a 200-ton train doesn't tip over, and they are the reason the tracks don't wash away in a thunderstorm. In today's video, we're not only going to explore how these stones give trains stability, absorb vibrations, and help spread heavy weights evenly across the ground to prevent the tracks from sinking. We're also going to uncover why these stones aren't round, why they never seem to get dirty, and the hidden physics that keeps the global economy moving on a bed of crushed rock. But before we continue, permit me welcome you to the channel, and yes, we know curiosity brought you here. This space satisfies that curiosity by exploring the strange, forgotten, misunderstood, and deeply human tales found in history, science, and the lives of real people. If this sounds like something you'd enjoy, then consider subscribing to the channel for regular videos that will always leave you nodding your head after watching. Now let's move on to the story. In order to help you fully understand this video, I will start by showing and explaining some basic parts of a railway track so you won't get confused with some terms later on in the video. These are rails. They are steel beams that provide a smooth, low-friction running surface for train wheels, guide the train, bear heavy loads, and distribute forces downward. Then these are sleepers. They are transverse supports. Sometimes they can be wood, concrete, or steel that hold rails at the correct gauge, transfer loads to the ballast, absorb vibrations, and maintain track stability and alignment. Lastly, we have ballast, the small rough rocks you see all over the place. They are the superstars of this video. With that said, for you to truly appreciate the importance of these rocks, we first have to understand the sheer, brutal scale of the problem they solve. Imagine a modern freight train. This isn't just a few cars, it's a massive line of steel, almost 2 miles long. It carries everything from coal and grain to the very device you might be using to watch this video, and weighs upwards of 10,000 to 20,000 tons. Now consider the physics involved. When such a massive train moves, it's not a gentle motion. It's a powerful, vibrating, and swaying force. If you were to lay those steel tracks directly onto the dirt or grass, the very first time a train passed over them, the pressure would be catastrophic. The train's weight would press down with such force that the rails would simply sink into the soft earth, like pushing a nail into soft wood. Practically speaking, the soil would displace, the horizontal beams would snap under the uneven pressure, and the train would derail within seconds. However, this is where the ballast performs its first miracle. Imagine the ballast as a giant, rocky cushion. When a train wheel rolls over a rail, all its weight is squeezed onto a tiny spot, about the size of a coin. The rail then pushes this huge force onto the sleepers, the wooden or concrete bars. The sleepers, in turn, pass that weight to the ballast. Because the ballast consists of countless individual stones, it acts like a system that spreads things out. It takes that focused weight and spreads it over a much larger area. By the time this pressure reaches the actual dirt below, it has been reduced so well that the ground can easily support the weight without any trouble. This is why the stones are specifically chosen to be angular and jagged. If you used smooth, round river pebbles, they would act like ball bearings. Under the weight of a train, they would slide and roll over each other, and the track would shift. But sharp, jagged rocks interlock. They bite into one another, creating a foundation that is as solid as a rock wall but as flexible as a spring. Beyond just holding up the train, ballast have 3 superpowers that keep the tracks functional, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, regardless of the weather. Let's start with the first superpower. Water poses a significant threat to large structures like train tracks. If water were to collect around the tracks, it would turn the ground into soft mud. In the railway industry, this problem is known as mud pumping. When a train passes over a track in such a condition, the track supports, also known as sleepers, sink into the mud, forcing the muddy mixture up through any cracks. Over time, the track will become completely unstable. So to prevent this, the stones used under the tracks, called ballast, are designed to be very porous. Because these stones are unevenly shaped, there are many spaces between them. When it rains, the water does not stay on top. Instead, it quickly falls through the stones and drains away from the sides of the track. This keeps the wooden or concrete track supports or sleepers dry, stopping them from rotting and ensuring the ground beneath stays solid. The second superpower concerns steel. Steel is a dynamic material, at least when we consider its natural behavior. During the intense heat of summer, steel rails expand. Conversely, in the bitter cold of winter, they shrink. If these rails were permanently fixed to a solid, unmoving concrete base, this expansion would have no room to occur. The immense internal force would eventually cause the tracks to buckle and form a sun kink, twisting the line into a dangerous S shape. The ballast, however, provides a small, almost invisible amount of flexibility. It holds the sleepers securely enough to keep them straight, but also allows for tiny vibrations and movements. This enables the steel to breathe as the temperature changes. It is a foundation that understands the need for a balance. The last but not the least of their superpowers is their ability to be a natural weed killer. Nature is incredibly strong. Just one weed can eventually break a sidewalk, and a forest can take back a road in only 10 years. If trees, bushes, or thick grass were allowed to grow on train tracks, their roots would push the rails out of place. Also, their leaves would make the tracks slippery, which is very dangerous for stopping and going up hills. To prevent this, railways' ballasts are used to create a dead zone, usually 12 to 20 inches. In this zone, there is no dirt for seeds to grow in, and very little sunlight reaches the bottom. This acts as a natural barrier without chemicals to keep the path clear. At this point, you might think that once these tiny rocks are dumped, the job is done. But being railway ballast is a violent, exhausting job. Over time, the constant vibration of passing trains causes the stones to rub against each other. This friction wears down those very important, sharp, jagged edges we talked about earlier. When stones become smooth and round, they can no longer fit tightly together. Also, the dust created by this rubbing, along with other dirt, begins to fill the spaces between the rocks. Once these spaces are full, water cannot drain properly, and it becomes a serious problem. This is why you often see large special machines on the rails at times called ballast cleaners. These huge vacuum cleaners, which are as big as a train, lift the entire track, including the rails and wooden ties. They then pick up the stones, shake them through a giant screen to remove dirt and broken pieces. Finally, they end up by putting the clean stones back on the track. It is a never-ending cycle of renewal. A deep-thinking person will at some point be tempted to ask this question. It's the 21st century. We have carbon fiber, 3D printed buildings, and space-age polymers. Why are we still using piles of rocks? While high-speed rail lines such as Japan's Shinkansen or France's TGV often use concrete tracks, most of the world's railway networks still prefer ballast. This is due to three main reasons. Firstly, crushed rock is much cheaper and more common than reinforced concrete. Secondly, ballast is easier to fix. If a part of the track sinks because of a small flood or earthquake, workers can simply add more rocks and pack them down to make the track level again. However, if a concrete slab cracks, the whole line must close for weeks while the old concrete is removed and new concrete is poured. Thirdly, ballast helps reduce noise. The spaces between the stones act like a muffler, absorbing the loud sound of train wheels. Concrete tracks are much noisier, which is a big problem for lines that pass through neighborhoods. And just like that, something that once looked like a random pile of rocks becomes one of the most important inventions in modern engineering. The next time you're standing on a train platform waiting for your commute, take another look down at those sharp, gray stones. They may not look impressive, they may not look beautiful, but beneath your feet lies one of the quiet forces holding the modern world together. That's the magic of curiosity. The ordinary is never truly ordinary once you understand it. If this video made you see the world a little differently, make sure you hit the like button. It tells YouTube that curiosity is worth spreading. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden science behind everyday things, subscribe to Curiosity Brought You Here and turn on notifications so you never miss what we explore next. Now I want to hear from you. What's something ordinary that you've always wondered about? Drop it in the comments. It might just become our next video. Until next time, stay curious. After all, curiosity brought you here.